Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we just wanted to talk about a topic slightly different from the usual topics that we talk about on this channel. We just wanted to talk about, obviously with action figure collecting and all that sort of thing, both of us really enjoy that as a hobby. I just wanted to talk about and kind of ask the question, maybe, is Hasbro tried to kill the 3 3/4 inch scale? For those of you who don't know, in terms of collecting, I'm more into collecting the 3 3/4 inch scale of figures for two reasons mostly. One, because they take up less space than the 6-inch figures, so I can fit more of them on a shelf. And B, they're usually cheaper, and also I've been collecting them since I was a kid, so I guess that's the third point. But we just wanted to talk about this today. So I know you don't really collect 3 3/4 inch stuff anymore, so this wouldn't really bother you a whole lot.
6-inch.
Yeah,
I just made a transition.
I'm fine with obviously 6-inch figures as well. Like I obviously have some Dragon Ball figures that are more 6-inch scale, and then obviously some Black Series stuff from Star Wars. But mainly the two lines that I'm thinking about are Star Wars and Marvel, with them trying to kill the 3 3/4 inch scale. Because Marvel, it's completely gone. We don't get any 3 3/4 inch Marvel stuff anymore, as far as I'm aware.
I think the last thing we got was the last proper thing was the Marvel Legends 3 3/4 inch Hulk and Thor 2-pack from Thor Ragnarok, I think.
Yeah, the Infinite series. Actually, no, technically we got the game Spider-Man PS4.
Oh yeah,
3 inch of the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite stuff. Yeah, which they were okay, but they were really expensive for what they were, and I feel like Star Wars is kind of drifting in that direction now, because the thing that kind of sparked me to do this was just kind of a build-up. Actually, it wasn't really just one thing; it's more a build-up of things. It was mainly because, first of all, the Rise of Skywalker didn't have a basic 3 3/4 inch figure line, which I know was a shock to you. Like, you didn't even know that it didn't have.
I didn't even realize, because obviously with the basic 5-point articulation figures, I thought they might have just released, because I don't pay attention to that sort of stuff anyway. When I go to the shops, like when I go to action figure hunting or looking for new stuff to collect, I go straight to the 6-inch line. I don't go around that sort of. I walk past it, but I don't pay much attention. So I thought they might have released maybe a few figures, but to my surprise, they haven't. So
yeah. So Rise of Skywalker didn't have a 3 3/4 inch basics line. They had the Galaxy of Adventure stuff, but that doesn't really count in my opinion, because it's more based on the cartoon than it is on the movie. So just that was one thing that, because obviously even though I didn't like the Rise of Skywalker, I'm still interested in picking up some of the characters, like the redesigned Kylo Ren or maybe Palpatine. Palpatine looked cool in that movie. And I guess you guys have to understand, both of us grew up in what, in my eyes, is the golden age of 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure collecting, which was from 2007.
The Clone Wars figures.
Yeah, with 30th anniversary, all the way to the end of Clone Wars, which was 2013. That was the golden age of Star Wars collecting, in my opinion. Just everything they released was just
See, I think if that carried on, if that line carried on for every single thing, I don't think I would have transitioned to 6-inch figures.
Yeah, because those were just so good. I still have loads of them on my shelf right now. I'm looking at my shelf right now. I've got the Clone Wars Anakin, Mace Windu, Ahsoka, vintage collection Boba Fett, all the a bunch of 30th anniversary figures as well. That's probably my favorite Star Wars figure line. Just they were so good. Same with Legacy collection as well. I've got quite a few Legacy collection figures on my shelf. But the thing for me as well, the thing that kind of the straw that broke the camel's back was well, there were two things. First of all, the Rise of Skywalker, when that came out, they released stuff for the vintage 3 3/4 inch line, but the figures was ridiculously expensive. They were so, I don't know how to describe it. They were the vintage figures were ridiculous in my opinion with how much they cost.
They were basically, the best way to describe it is that they're going way too far towards the price for the actual Black Series. So
yeah, because
the Black Series usually go for about £20. Basically, the best way to sort of describe it with the vintage line is that it's around in the UK. It's around £15, $14.99.
I think 30. They range between $12.99 and
depending on which figures you're picking up. But they're very much drifting towards the
too close towards the Black Series prices.
Into your nearly into your 20s. If you're going £15, they'll probably continue to go up, maybe even into £16-17. But depending on which figures come out.
There was the thing for me with the vehicles, which is what I was going to say before about the vehicles with the Rise of Skywalker, was Luke's X-Wing and Poe's X-Wing. They costed £100 each for a vehicle with no figures, by the way. I just want to put that out there. And then this year we got the Black Series Snowspeeder, and the Black Series Snowspeeder costs £100, and it comes with a figure, and it's like twice the size of the X-Wing. It's like massive, obviously, because it's a scale with 6-inch figures. So, I mean, that's just like one thing. And then the second thing that kind of made me realise, this is kind of drifting towards the end of 3 to 4 inch in my eyes, is with the latest Hasbro Pulse live stream Fan First Friday, I think it was. Was it Friday or Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a Friday. It was Fan First Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, the latest Fan First Friday, where they said that the 5-point of articulation figures are going in the vault, and they were just going to re-release a bunch of old ones. I'm like. The thing for me with that is, like, I don't really care for the 5-point articulation figures too much. Like, some of them are okay, but they're not that great. But the thing for me is, if I want a super articulated vintage figure, then it's going to cost me too much. And I only have one vintage figure from the new line, from when they brought back the vintage collection, which, by the way, most of them are just Black Series repacks, which isn't good, but that's a completely different point. The only one I have is the Death Star Gunner. And the Death Star Gunner, it doesn't feel like it has the same quality as the other Black Series, not Black Series, sorry, old vintage collection figures. Like, the plastic feels cheaper, the joint on the legs on the, Death Star Gunner is, like, horrendous. Like, they're so loose. Like, if you pick it up and wobble it, the legs start, like, wobbling around. It's like, I don't think it really stands up properly on its own anymore. So it's just like, it's stuff like that where it's like, why did you guys do this, if you get what I'm saying? Like, I know obviously you don't really care as much because you're less of a 3 to 4 inch guy, but
I think with one problem I see, like, I don't care as much, but I do see the problems, because obviously me and you talk about like action figures like a lot, like just in general conversation. I think
just because it's a hobby, I guess.
Another problem that I would see is that, if you wanted to army build, a 5-point of articulation figure would be best to army build. Because say if you got, let's just give an example. Say you want to do a clone army. Say you bought one vintage collection clone, whatever, and then so you've got or say if you buy 2 or 3, just to say because you want some super articulated ones, and then you just want like a load of other ones, but you just want them in just one simple pose. You would definitely
background fillers, basically.
Yeah, it's basically fillers for your shelf. You'd basically go for the 5-point of articulation ones, because you'll save a lot more money, and then you could buy them in bulk as well, and you'd most likely be able to find them on offer in places as well. Because a lot of 5-point articulation figures, they go into very cheap, even like cheap grocery stores, like somewhere like Asda will maybe put them on for like £2, and maybe like a store in the UK called Home Bargains brings a lot of stuff like that in once in a while.
It's basically discount stores. Those are the sorts of places.
Yeah.
So just the whole thing with like 3 to 4 inch figures for me is like, it's kind of limited what I've wanted to buy over the past few years, if you get what I mean, because like I've bought, to be honest with you, the only Star Wars things I've really bought are old figures off like eBay at times, and even then I'm kind of like apprehensive about doing that because they're like so expensive. But the only stuff I've really bought is like retro collection figures. Obviously I have the whole First A New Hope wave. We haven't really got much of the Empire wave in the UK. We're just mainly Forbidden Planet, and the only one I found was Leia, who wasn't on the top of my priority list because I already have Han, Luke and Leia from Episode 4, so I'd rather get Boba Fett, Lando and Yoda first. But that's just really what I wanted to say, that obviously I'm missing 3 to 4 inch collector, like the 3 to 4 inch collectors kind of be neglected, and just the way that they're overpricing everything, like with the play sets, even like the Carbon Freezing Chamber set, It's like £60, and I mean, it comes with the figure, fair enough, but it's basically just a diorama. So it's like, it looks good as well, but it's so expensive that I'm like, I can't possibly justify spending money on this.
In my opinion, I think with this, with Star Wars, I think there's like now, especially because they've say that they're putting the 5-point of articulation figures in the vault after these packs that they're releasing. Is it 5 packs? Is it 5 characters in one pack?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it's probably about 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be more. You'd get more for your money out of Black Series 6-inch, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah,
anyway.
But the thing for me is that
like £5, but not like, say you pay the extra £5. Even like sometimes in the UK they'd be like £18. So you pay the extra like £3-4, and then you get like, not necessarily more accessories, but you get like a figure with more detail. It'll have tighter joints, which will make for better poses and
more durable.
In the long term, just like...
Also, Black Series gets a lot more, so it'll be more in scale, and you'll have a lot more to go with it. Because, like, with 3 3/4 inch now, but the most we usually get is, like, 2 waves of vintage a year. Maybe 3 if we're lucky, but I don't even think we've had 3 since it's come back. And the waves that we get are, like, really small, and they're not really the greatest, like, character selection ever. Like, I know, this year they re-released I think it was this year or last year, they re-released, like, quite a few of the old ones, which is good for people who didn't get those, obviously. But it'd be nice to get figures that aren't just repacks, like new figures. Like the one example, the vintage Stormtrooper, that was one of the best, like, in my opinion, figures like that Hasbro's made in recent memory. So I'm surprised they haven't kind of done more stuff like that, and they're just going for the repack route.
I think with 6-inch figures, the only problem I sort of see is that, which you said, which is sorted with the 3 3/4 inch figures, is a space, really. Because obviously, because of me and you, we don't really have much space to display our figures, like, anywhere. Like, not as much as we'd like to anyway. Like, we've both got small, like, bookshelves which we pose them on. Which, by the way, guys, if you do want to see a video from my side, like, once, because I've obviously got all my area set up. Once all my collections, like, being progressed, I wouldn't mind making a video showing off the collection and showing off the displays that I've got. But I think gripe I have with the 6-inch is that there's not enough space that I'd like make like really good displays. Because one thing I've been saying to you for ages is that I want to make a Mandalorian display with the Beskar Mando and a TIE fighter, but I just do not have space for a 6-inch TIE fighter. Even though, like, even if secondhand, if I wanted to get one, I could probably find one fairly cheap. But I just do not have the space. Like, in this, if I do make a just like a display showcase video, guys, I'll show you like how much space I've got in roughly each shelf. I just do not have the space to even fit the TIE fighter in there. Never mind, like, have it up in the air or have it hanging or something. I don't have enough space. So I think that's my only problem with it. But obviously that could be sorted if like collectors like get their own rooms for displays and have big glass display boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, the other thing for me as well is that with the 3 3/4 inch line, I feel like with 6-inch, not only is it more expensive, but also like the Star Wars line was built on 3 3/4 inch. Obviously, they were the biggest, like they were the first thing to make 3 3/4 inch a thing. So for them to kind of abandon that, it's kind of like leaving behind a part of history. If you get what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like
me and you were saying that they should bring back the Clone Wars style figures, but now they're looking like they want to get rid of everything entirely. Because
what I'd propose, I'd say they do. Get rid of, like the 2-inch figures that they're making. I don't remember what they're called. They're called Fleet Battles or something like that. Fleet something.
Yeah.
Just get rid of those. I mean, I don't understand why Hasbro's been doing that for ages. Like, they've been, like, with the Angry Birds line or with, like, fighter pods and stuff like that. I kind of really thought anybody kind of, like, got into those lines. The only 2 of those lines that I ever got into were Star Wars Command and, the Micro Machines, because those were kind of cool, because they reminded me of, like, the old Micro Machines. But, I'd say get rid of lines like that, get rid of Galaxy of Adventures, and now that you've got rid of the 5 POA line, I'd say have vintage for collectors, like you did back in the day, 6-inch for 6-inch collectors, and then have like kind of like a Saga Legend. Like, do you remember how Saga Legends was back in the day of movie heroes, where they had like old like repacks, or they had different, like, obviously it was just like random characters across the saga. I feel like they should do that, and then that would be like perfect, and I'd be perfectly, obviously as long as they're not 5 POA, they don't have to be super articulated, but I mean obviously have decent articulation. As long as they're like that, I'd be more than satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, I think a perfect example of maybe what they should do is what I think Dragon Ball are doing. Like, obviously, this is ideas just come to my head right now. Is that like with Dragon Ball, you've got your 6-inch, £20 Dragon Stars. You've got your figurized figures for collectors, which are like, say, going on £25 to £30 for like hardcore 6-inch collectors who want more detail and posability out of their, and like display features out of their action figures. And then you've got the Evolve figures, which obviously that came up yesterday because I just recently got a Golden Frieza from that line.
Yeah, and they're good. They're decent figures. The second wave looks a lot better than the first, in my opinion.
It's £10, which will be about maybe like $8 to $10 in the US if they release in the US.
Yeah, give or take. I think it's $10. I think they're $10 or like $13.
Some of the figures would scale with your 6-inch figures, so you could just keep them in collection, or you could just do that sort of 4 to 5-inch sort of collection. That's £10. So, and for that price, you do get a really good amount of like detail on the figure and articulation. So if you I got that recently, so if you guys do want me to do a review on that, I don't mind doing a review on that. Just let me know in the comments, and I might put a poll up on Instagram. So make sure to check out Instagram, link will be in the bio. But yeah, I think that would be a perfect thing, because that sounds similar to what you're proposing for Star Wars. It sounds
and then also
sort of,
with
structure.
The thing that I'm kind of like scared about is it feels like Hasbro is trying to like get rid of this rigid core design, because obviously by charging that much, obviously, like some ridiculous prices for all that, like even the vehicles, like the sail barge that came out, that was obviously 500, but that was HasLab, so that's like a separate thing. But the skiff that came out, the skiff was like £50-60, and it wasn't like, I don't think they justified it. It was basically a big heap of brown plastic, like big chunk of brown plastic. That I mean, it was detailed. It looked exactly like the one from the movie. But I don't think I don't even think it had pegs for figures. Like, you just have to stand your figures up on it. That's really bad for that price, in my opinion. So I think what they're trying to do is probably charge stupid prices for it. And obviously, even like the 3-figure packs, they're like £50 for like 3 figures. So yeah, I think they're trying to charge ridiculous prices, and then when they don't sell, they can say to, like, obviously the big head honchos at Hasbro, "Oh, look, this isn't selling because it's like people don't want this stuff," even though in and like Black Series is selling, even though in reality people do want this stuff. It's just that it's not like the best quality and it costs too much. So hopefully Hasbro would like fix it now that 5 PO, because they confirmed 5 POA isn't coming back. So 5 POA is gone. Hopefully they fix it and kind of not listen to the fans, because obviously that sounds entitled, but kind of take fan feedback on board and kind of think about what the fans want, as well as what's best for, like, financially, because obviously they're a business at the end of the day.
That's all I really have to say on it. I think we'll cover more news if like anything like that does come out. And by the way, talking about Star Wars figures, I've got I haven't really said this on the channel yet, but I've got 3 coming from the new wave. So I've got Ezra, which is a repack, but he's still in the new box. Beskar Mando, and Darth Vader coming from the new wave. So I will be the Ezra's coming soon, but so like just I wanted to let you guys know that I will be reviewing all 3 on the channel. So stay tuned for that if you are interested in that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say as well. Hopefully we can eventually go back to the good old days of Star Wars collecting. I'd be surprised based on how the economy is now, but as provided the stuff's good, I'll be happy. But yeah, that's about it. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a like. If you did enjoy it as well, share it with your friends. Check out our Instagram, link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.